Hello friends, in today's video tutorial we are going to discuss that how to create a database in SQL and show that data which we are created in SQL database into a grid view control. So here we are going to first create a database in SQL and then join that database to a grid view control and show the data from SQL database to our grid view control in the form of rows and columns or in the form of table. So here first open the Visual Studio, then File, New, Website, then select C# from Install Template and select Empty Website. Then name your website as you want and then click on OK. First, go to Solution Explorer, right click on the website name, then add new item, then add a new web form, that is a default.aspx. Go to the design view and insert a grid view control. The second control we have to insert here is SQL data source. Now to create a database in SQL, go to Server Explorer, then right click on data connection, select create new SQL database. And then here write down the server name. The server name is name of your PC. So I am going to show you that how to see the name of your PC. Go to your my computer, then right click and then properties, and this is the name of your PC. Here my PC name is RCP ACS PC. So I am going to write down here RCP ACS PC. Then write down the database name, for example, my database. Here our database is created. Now in this database I am going to create a table. So expand the database. Now if you expand the table, there is a no table here because we are not created any table yet. So right click on the table and then add. You can also create a table by design or by using query. So select new query. Then here write down the queries of SQL. First we have to create a database. So write down the create command as create table. For example, table name is stud. Then in bracket, first field is roll number, which is of type integer. Then if I want to assign a primary key, then write down the primary key, comma. The second field is name, which is of type varchar, in bracket size. One thing you have to always remember that for varchar field we have to assign the size, but for integer there is no need to assign the size. Then the second field is marks, which is of type integer. Again I am not going to assign the size. And then the fourth field is address, which is of type varchar, and the size is 30. Here first we have to check that our query is correct or not. So select it and then click on the tick icon, that is a parse, or we have to first compile our query. So it is showing that command executed successfully, means our query is correct. If there is any mistake, then it will show an error message. Now We have to insert some data into our table. So write down the query as insert into stud values in bracket. Roll number is 1, comma, name in single quotation, for example, Priyanka Patil. Always remember that the field which is a character type, we already mentioned the data in a single quotation. Then the marks 90 and again comma, address Dhule. Insert more records. So here I insert 4 number of records. Roll number 1, 2, 3 and 4. We execute one by one. So select the first insert command and then compile it. Then it is showing that command executed successfully. After that select command and then run that query. Then it is showing that one row affected, means our query is successfully executed. Now do the same thing with all the 3 commands, 3 insert commands. First we have to parse the query and then execute it. Now just check the records. Write down the select statement or select query. Select star from stud. Again select that query and then compile and run. Now as you can see that our records are inserted successfully with the fields roll number, name, marks and address, and with 4 records. Now I am going to connect that database to our GridView control. First refresh your database. Now here I am going to connect the database to SQL data source. So select and then click on configure database. Click on new connection. Then again change. Here select Microsoft SQL Server. Then server name, that is the name of your computer. Select the database. Here I created a database with name my database. Then test the connection and OK. Then next. Here I am going to show the student record. So click on next, then test query and finish. Now connect the SQL data source to GridView. So select GridView and then choose data source, that is a SQL data source 1. Now run the program. Select run without debugging. As you can see, our data is displayed. If you update the data, the changes reflect back to your database. Suppose here I want to change the address of roll number 4. It is a Shirpur and I want to change it as the another city. Then write down the update query as update stud set address is equal to, in the quotation, for example, I want to set the address as Mumbai, where roll number is equal to 4. Means for roll number 4, I want to change the address from Shirpur to Mumbai. So select the query, then compile it and execute. So one row affected. Now again select the select query and then compile and run it. So as you can see, the roll number 4 address is updated from Shirpur to Mumbai. Suppose I want to delete the record of roll number 3. So write down the delete query as delete stud where roll number is equal to 3. Now select the query, then compile it and run it. Now again run the select query, then you will see the output. So our roll number 3 record is deleted. Now go to Server Explorer and refresh the database. Right click on the database and select refresh. The changes will reflect back to our grid view. Now run the program. So as you can see, any changes which we have made to database are reflect to a grid view control.